Okay, so we are up to Mishlei 24, and this is really 23 through 26. Let me just, in terms of bookkeeping plans for the future. So by my count, we have after this one, we have 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks left. I'm not exactly sure what the situation is going to be on that Monday. I guess that depends on when we get back, or not when we get back, but whatever.
We'll do it that morning.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so we have 3 sessions left, okay, approximately. And if you look at the parak, so here's what it looks like right now. So right now we're gonna try, this week we're gonna try to do 24 through 26. So then we have 27, then we have 28, and then we have 29. Okay, and then that leaves over 4 pesukim. Okay, I really want to finish chapter 24 before the summer, or whatever. I want to finish it. Okay, I don't want to leave it lingering for next year. And because with this, I will have, we'll have completed this whole last part of Mishlei. So we got to find other opportunities to do Mishlei, or maybe continue into the summer somehow. I'm open to ideas, but I really want to finish this thing. And if I don't do it with you guys, I'll do it somewhere else. So that's just wanted to declare my yeah. Yeah. I'm full steam ahead. What was that?
What a
I like how you use a thread. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, also, in case you missed me saying this in the Sunday shiur yesterday, I actually do want to start a Mishlei shiur for the summer, but I just don't know when. And I'm going to put out a survey probably just to get feelers, to see when it would be. But I want to continue doing Mishlei during the summer. Okay. All right. So let us do this. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be 23 and 24 or 23 through 26. The Meiri puts them all together. And because I'm going to err on the side of caution and covering ground, then I want to make sure that we, at least, again, cast a wide net here. So let's just see what happens. All right, Gam. So this is I mentioned this is the we're after the Musaf to the sun now, okay? Because we had a paragraph break at what was it here? Last one we did was 22 paragraph break, okay? And this sounds like the beginning of a new thing, right? So Gam ele lachachamim hakir panim b'mishpat bal tov.
So to summer.
Yeah. These are for the chachamim, for the wise. Okay, and so presumably this is starting a new set of Proverbs. Okay, but again, it's very short lived because it only goes until the end of 24. Okay, or for or by the wise. Okay, like Mishlei Mizmor LeDavid, right? It could either be for David or by David. So Eli lachachamim, yeah.
Couldn't it be everything he was saying to his son is also for the wise?
It'd be weird. Oh, you mean this implies that everything for the son was also for the wise? Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, but it's definitely the purpose of him saying this is going to be primarily for what's going to come. Okay, hakir panim b'mishpat bal tov. Yeah.
Recognizing faces in judgment is not good.
Okay, so literally it's recognizing faces in judgment is not good. Now, but what is
to give special privileges to certain people.
Yeah.
Honor.
Is there a legal term for this, or am I just not
bias?
No, it's not bias. I mean, I translate it as showing favoritism. Right? But showing favoritism. Yeah. Is not good. Okay, 24. Omer LaRasha Tzadigata. Yeah.
Say to an evil person.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say one who says to an evil person. Now, here's the thing. Ordinarily, you translate Russia as evil person, but in the context of mishpat, no, guilty, right? Guilty. So I'm going to go ahead and say with a we'll do both of them. Evil or guilty person. Sadigata. You are right. So either righteous or innocent. Yikvuhu amim. Nations will curse him. Yizamuhu leumim.
Nations will curse.
Za'am. I feel like we have Za'am in wrath, right? Fury. Okay, so I believe, if I remember correctly, I think our score likes to translate leumim as regimes. I don't know. Who knows what these things are? Okay, so let's say regimes will will be furious with him. Okay. All right. Now this is again. It's possible that these next two pesukim are not connected, but we'll see. It says v, so maybe v'lamochichim yinam.
And for rebukers, it'll be sweet.
Yeah, but for rebukers, it will be pleasant. The alehem tavo birkas tov. Oh yeah, this is definitely is connected, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the curses and the brachos. Yeah.
And then will come blessings of good.
Yep. A blessing of good. Okay, and then Sefasayim Yishak.
Lips will kiss.
Lips, yeah, I don't know, Yishak will be kissed.
He will kiss.
He will Yishak, yeah, he will kiss. He will, yeah, all right, we'll see what the English says. Kiss lips, Meshiv Devarim Nechochim. I think it's of one who is Meshiv Devarim Nechochim.
Responds with words of rebuke.
Yeah, so Nechochim, yeah, I think confirmation is probably good. Let me actually look at the BDB here. Mochichim, where are we? Nechochim, maybe.
True.
True, okay.
True enough.
Yeah. Straight, right, straightness. Okay, so with straight, let's see, with true words. Let's just say true. Verified words, maybe. Verified words. Okay, so all right, we got a lot of work to do here. Okay, let's see. ציון says, Yikvuhu is Yakalaluhu, so that means to curse. Yizamu is Milashon Zam Vakas, okay, like we said, fury. Lumim is umos, okay, great. Yinam is Milashon Imus Viofi, so pleasantness and beauty. Yishak is Milashon Nashika, is a kiss. Rasulumar Chibur Hasafasayim. Oh, sorry. So I don't think he's doing kiss. Joining or combining of the lips. So kiss, it is a kiss, but it's like to come together, right? In a kissy way. I don't know if there's a okay. They are interdependent on one another. Because that's a very that you gotta see a doctor if that happens when you're trying to kiss somebody. Yeah. Pursing your lips, yeah. I think that might be what he means. Yeah, we'll see. I bet one of the English translations will say that. Nechochim is amitim v'yasharim v'nochecha lo tucha lava. Okay, so that means true. All right, so let's keep that there in case we need it. Sadion translates three of the pesukim. Hagam ela inyanam shel chachamim. So he doesn't say it's from or for the chachamim. It's on the topic of the chachamim. I think that's minyanam. Hakir panim b'mishpat in bo tov. Okay, there is no good in the Hakir panim b'mishpat. We've seen Sadion make that move before, right? The in bo tov. Remember we did something else in the chapter 18 or something like that. There's no good in it.
I think it was actually the actual passage says.
Oh yeah, right. But he says in bo tov.
Oh
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So he's saying there's no good in it. Kia omer la rasha. So and then he's saying the 24 is explaining 23. Ki haomer la rasha tzadigata yivizuhu amim v'yignuhu halumim. So slightly different. One who says to the rasha, "You are a tzaddik," the people will scorn him, and the nations will degrade him. Okay. Okay. Then he doesn't translate 25. Ki hameshiv devarim nechonim kamisha menashik as hasavzayim. Someone who responds with proper statements is like one who kisses the lips. Okay, I'm not even going to touch the Targum. We'll just leave that there. Okay, too much. All right. Let me. Okay, I'm just going to prepare to move this. Okay, so our scroll. These things too are for the wise to consider. Showing favoritism and judgment is not good. One who tells a wicked person you are righteous, the peoples will curse him. The nations will anathemize him. Ooh, nice. Okay. The reprovers should be pleasant, and a good blessing will come upon them. The lips of one who responds with proper words should be kissed. Should be kissed. Yeah, I think that's where I got it. Somehow it's passive in my mind. Again, I don't know grammar. Living Nach says these two are by the sages. Partiality. Maybe that was the word I was thinking of. Partiality when rendering judgment is not good. He who says to the wicked man, "You are righteous," peoples will curse him and nations will vent their anger against him. But those who rebuke him pleasantly, blessings for good will come upon them. He will purse his lips and reply in a straightforward manner. Alter says these two are from the wise. Showing favor and justice cannot be good. That's kind of close to Sadigon, right? Cannot be good. Who says to the guilty, you are innocent, peoples will curse him, nations will damn him. But for the rebukers, it will be pleasant. Upon them, the blessing of good will come. With lips does he kiss who answers in forthright words. So it turns out with 26, no one really knows who's kissing who and what's being kissed. It's like go either way. Let's look at Alter's commentary here. These two are from the wise. This is the brief formal introduction to a new selection of proverbs from a different source. Okay, it's mafra that way, showing favor and justice. The second verset, in fact, begins with a sequence on impartiality and justice that takes up the next two lines. Kiss, forthright words. Forthright is interesting. I just missed that when we read it. This line flaunts a paradox. Okay, he who speaks straightforwardly, probably words of justified criticism, is as one who kisses however harsh the words. Okay, let's just put our translation here. All right, obviously we're gonna have to keep this really fluid throughout. This is a difficult block of text here. Yeah. Okay, where do we be? I know it's hard, right?
What's the whole deal with kissing?
Yeah. Okay. So particular question is, what is the metaphor of kissing? And so let's do this. What is the mushal and nimshal of kissing? Right? Who is kissing who, and how and why? yeah. Go.
What does it mean? Is it for fun?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to broaden that a little bit. What do we learn from the introductory verse? No. What do we learn from the introductory preface? I guess that all prefaces are introductory. From the preface. Okay. Like why not just state the proverbs, right? I mean, these are all forthcoming. These are, what is that? Why do we care about this? Yeah, Isaac?
Why does he need to say Haker Panov Mishpat is not good? Like there's a bunch of other things about that. The Torah talks about
okay,
it.
Right. So why does he even need to say Haker Panim B'Mishpat? Does anyone know the pasuk that says that? Yeah. Do you know where that is?
There's also one in Devarim, Parak Aleph.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So let's just look at that really quickly.
In the beginning of Shoftim, though, it talks
Right.
about
So in all of it's going to be talking about the qualities of the judges, right?
You're gracious.
Thank you. Different kind of judges. All right. That was a Telem Elohim joke. All right. Okay. You base? Say it again? Ish. Okay. Okay. This is Havluchem Anashim Chachamim Unvonim Viduim Leshivchem Vasim Baroshechem. Natanos Evotem. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Va'atzave es shoftechem ba'isai hilemor. I commanded your judges at that time, saying, Shamoa bein achechem ushvatetem tzedek. Listen among your brethren and judge righteously. Bein ish bein achiv bein gerel. Between a man and his brother and his ger. Lo sakiru panim b'mishpat, kakaton kagadol tishma'un. You do not recognize faces in judgment. Don't show favoritism in judgment. Kakaton kagadol tishma'un. Like the small and the great, you should listen, and you should listen to them equally. Lo saguru mipnei ish. Do not be intimidated before any man. Because judgment it belongs to God. I don't know if you caught Rebbe's statement about Rabbi Moskowitz last night with the when he said that actually, so it's funny. I wrote this in the Instagram post this morning. I did not transcribe this part because I wasn't sure. It was very hard to hear Rebbe, and I wasn't sure if I would get this right. But I just want to read this statement here. So Rebbe said about Rabbi Moskowitz, the best way to describe his perfection is by sharing that he did something no one else could do. I've never seen anybody else. He never did anything to try to impress anybody. Never. It wasn't even on his mind. Very few people can say that. Even great people do things with the intention of impressing other people. And then he quoted the Rav, and I couldn't get the exact words, but he said, the Rav said that when he would shake someone's hand, then he would do a regular handshake. But if the guy was really rich, he found that he would give him a little extra squeeze. And with that, he was over on Lo Saguru Mipnei Ish. That don't be intimidated. What was that?
What's the Rebbe said about himself?
It was very hard to hear Rebbe. That's what I got from that. And then Rebbe concluded. He said Rebbe Moskowitz was on a completely different plane. He never ever did anything to impress anybody. That was something I feel obligated to point out because it is concise and really shows you the mark of his perfection. So yeah, I felt like not everyone was familiar with this pasuk Lo Saguru Mipnei Ish. Yeah, because judgment belongs to God. Okay, and the other one was in Shoftim. you say?
Yeah.
Okay, shoftim, probably early on, right?
Yeah. Very good.
Lo sate mishpat, lo sakir panim, lo sikach shokad. Yeah, I feel like what we should do is just look at the halacha really quickly of lo sakir panim, just to make sure that we know, because this is one where Shlomo HaMelech is assuming that we know what he's referring to here. Why does the Rambam not have that as a lav, or is this in?
Who was the you look at?
I'm looking at the Monei Mitzvos where it brings down the lavin.
Is there another puzzle like this?
I was wondering if there's one in Mishpatim.
Yeah.
Is that your Bar Mitzvah
It is
version?
my Bar
Okay,
Mitzvah
yeah.
version. I don't remember any mention in it.
Okay, let's see.
Very possible that it's here. There's like 60 something. This was.
Yeah, hold on just a second here. Where were we? It was yeah. Okay, so Shelo Yiyar Dayan B'din Adam Ra Shalom is Dayan Sheno Chacham Lasos Tzedek. I wonder if he's going to include it in. I mean, this is part of the Los Gurumi Ish. I mean, all right, you know what? Let me look at one more thing. Hold on. Just 1 second here. Do we have? No, it's going to take me too long to find the physical version that we have. Okay. 117, you say?
Yes.
Oh, that's way too far. Okay, so this is, for those who don't know, this is Hamikra Baramam by Kafef, which is the index to all the pesukim in all the works of the Rambam. Okay, 113, 117, Sanhedrin 3:8, and then 22:1. So let's just check that out and see what it says. I was interrupting myself. I was saying that it's important here when Mishlei references specific mitzvos in the Torah, Mishlei is definitely assuming that you're familiar with those mitzvos. So I feel like we owe it to Shlomo HaMelech to have just make sure that we know what the parameters are here. What does it say? 3:8? Okay.
This is an Oslo moment.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so Kol Sanhedrin. Let's try this. Kol Sanhedrin. O Melach O Rosh Galus Shehemidu Lahem LiYisrael Dayan She'enu Hagun Eno Chacham B'Chachmas HaTorah Roy Lios Dayan. So any Sanhedrin or king or exilarch who sets up for Israel a judge who is not proper and is not a Chacham in the Chacham of the Torah and is fit to be a Dayan, Afal Pishu Kulu Mahmadim, even though he's all delightful, Yishbo Tovos Aheres, and he has other good qualities. Harizeh Shehemidu over below Sase. Oh, see, I did not know this. You're over lo saseh shenemar lo sakiru panim b'mishpat. So it's appointing a judge. Okay, that's at least in the halacha. This is said, according to Torah Peh, over someone who is appointed to appoint judges. Okay, wow. Glad that we looked this up here. Amru Chachamim Shema Tomar Ish Ploni Na'eh Ashivina Dayan. Maybe a person will say this guy is good looking. I think Nai is good looking. Oshvina Dayan. He's got like the politician, so he's got like the look. What was that? Could be Midos. Yeah, I feel like he would say it differently, but I'll make him a Dayan. Ish Ploni Gibor. This guy is mighty. He's strong. I don't know what kind of Gibor is talking about. Oshvina Dayan. I'll make him a Dayan. Ish Ploni Krovi. This guy's my relative. Oshvina Dayan. Ish Ploni Yodea B'chol Lashon. Right. This guy's a hyper polyglot. Oshvina Dayan. I'll make him a Dayan. Nimsa Mizake es hachayev u'mechayev es hazakai. That will result in him making the liable, vindicating the liable and liabilizing the vindicate. No, that's not whatever the opposite is. Lo mipnei shehu Russia, and not because the judge is a Russia. Elo mipnei she'ino yodea, because he doesn't know. L'kach nemar lo sakiru panim b'mishpat. That's why it says don't recognize, don't show favoritism in judgment. But Od Amru, I'm just going to keep reading until it gets to a different topic. Od Amru Chachamim, the Chachamim also said, Kol hamamid lahem liyisrael dayan she'ino hagun kilu hekim matzeva. So anyone who sets up a judge in Israel who is not proper, it's as if he set up a matzeva, an avodah zara stone, however you want to translate matzeva. Shneimar v'lo sakim l'cha matzeva asher sanei ad Hashem elokacha. It says in Devarim 16:22, don't set up a matzeva that Hashem your God hates. Uvmakom tamid chachamim, and if it is in a place of tamid chachamim, which I think means if there are like good candidates, like who could be set up as judges. Kilu nata ashera. It's like he planted an ashera on a bodazara tree. Shneimar, as it says, lo sita lacha ashera kol etel mizbach Hashem lekach asher taselach. Do not plant next to the altar of Hashem your God an ashera. The mizbach of your God of Hashem your God that you will make. Don't plant an ashera for yourself. V'chein amru chachamim lo sasun iti Elohei chesed ve'Elohei zahav. It also says, Hashem says, do not make with me gods of silver and gods of gold. And the drasha is Eloah haba bishvil kesef zahav, a God that comes through, on account of kesef and zahav. Zeha dayan sheminuhu mipnei ashro bilvad. That's a dayan who is appointed because of his wealth alone. I feel like that applies philosophically to school boards, right? Yeah. Okay. So that is, I think that is okay. So again, I'm not saying that we have to be beholden to that, but it does fit, and it is the halacha that but it changes the way we read this, right? Because I would have said Omer l'rasha tzadik ata yikvu amim is the act of showing favoritism, right? But it turns out, according to Torah Shabbat Peh, it's saying showing favoritism will cause this situation of Omer l'rasha tzadik ata, right? In other words, if you appoint a guy who doesn't know how to judge, he's going to end up showing favoritism to the Rasha. Yeah.
What about the other hakefan pesukim, like when Shoftin and maybe Mishpat?
Okay, so let's be thorough here.
Yeah, I think we'll say Lusat Ten Mishpat.
Yeah. Sorry, when was where was the Shoftim one? Do you remember the? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just look it up anyway again. Tesva. Can you what? Yes. Let's not take mishpat. Let's look here. You test. Let's see here. Tesva.
Talking about the Matzita and the Ashera are in the same parsha, by the way. So I think that's why.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Your test is so that's in Chaf. That was the other reference, right? Chaf Gimel Aleph. Mishnah Torah. Chaf Gimel Aleph. Okay. Lo sikach shochad. Do not take a bribe. You don't even need to say don't take a bribe to pervert the justice. Even to render an innocent judgment on the innocent and to make a liable judgment on the liable is asur. Over below sase, you're over on lo sase, and you're included in the statement, accursed is the one who takes a bribe. And you are obligated to return the bribe when the giver
demands it back when you already made the judgment.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I think
it's if someone gives you a bribe before you start the court case, and then
he's required to return the bribe if he is demanded to by the giver.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. That's a weird halakha. Okay. Wait, did I look at the wrong? Oh, Gimel, right? Gimel's the one. Kol dayan sheyoshev v'mogadol ma'alas. Is that the, yeah? Did I say 21, 23? Am I in the right place? 23, 1.
This is from which parak?
Sanhedrin in Chaf Gimel. 22, 1? Okay, thanks.
Or 21?
This one looks better. Maybe. Wait, 20.
It might have been 21.
21, 1.
Yeah, that's great. This is what you have to put on.
Oh, it does? Okay. Mitzvah to say lishpot hashofet b'tzedek. So it's a mitzvah to say for the judge to judge righteously. Shneimar b'tzedek tishpot amitecha. Judge righteously. Ezehu tzedek hamishpat. What is the tzedek in mishpat? Zeh hashvayas shnei bali dinim b'chol davar. That's completely equating the two litigants. Lo yihi echad medaber kol tzarchav echad omer lo katzar davaracha. Don't say to one person, speak everything that you need to speak, and then make the other guy be concise. Lo yaspir panim le'echad v'yidaber le'rachos. Don't show favoritism to one of them, show a pleasant face, and then speak gently to him. V'yera panav le'acher v'yidaber le'kashos, and then speak harshly to the other one. By the way, only something I only learned this year. You're over on lo selech rachil b'nacha for that. The Rambam only mentions it in the Sefer HaMitzvos under Lo Seilach Rachel B'Mecha, that there's a form of Lo Seilach Rachel B'Mecha that only the judges can be over, and it's a Rachel Zev Akash V'Zeh. It's a drush on Rachel. Yeah. strange.
That's particularly for Dayanim.
Yeah. Philosophically, probably for other people, but for Dayanim, yeah. How far am I going? Did you see? I guess this is. This feels like it's the Indian, right?
Yeah.
Should we keep reading? I assume that's a yes. Okay. Shnei balidinim shahaya echad mehem melubash begadim yikarim v'hasheni begadim bezuyim. Two litigants, one of them who's dressed nicely and the other one is dressed disgracefully. Omrim lamachubad, o he'll be shuhu kamosan afshetadun imo o lavosh kamoso. You got to tell the guy who's dressed nicely, either you dress like this other guy to be judged with him, or you tell him dress this other guy to be judged like you, or you dress like him. You got to equate them, right, in terms of their garments. You shouldn't have one of them sitting and one of them standing. Both of them should stand. And if Beis Din wants both of them to sit, they sit. One should not sit above and one below. They should sit next to each other. Okay, this does go on. All right, fine. I think though it's going to be. Yeah. All right. I think we have enough for our purposes. I think
this one is like, don't treat them differently.
Right.
And it's not just where you're actively treating them differently, but I think anything where the litigants themselves are going to feel like they're
correct. And I think it's similar vein to what we realized from going over the first halacha, which is that these inequalities that you're promoting are not themselves the hakir panim, but it can be it is the hakir panim, but that is not equal to saying to a tzaddik he's a rasha, but it will lead to that because you're going to be biased. Yeah. Questions? Yeah.
All right, I got like thousands of questions.
Okay, good.
Start with a couple. One is
hopefully you follow the Rebbeinu Yonah and Avos that I shared.
Yeah, I was silent up until this point.
Oh no, he doesn't just say silent, right? He says, okay.
I listened to the shiur.
You listened to the shiur. Okay, yeah. So I was in the shiur. Yeah, right. You were in the shiur. Okay, fine. Go ahead. No, I just want to say, Rebbeinu doesn't just say you be silent. He says your heart has to be calm within you until the svaras of the Rav, in this case the Rambam, are engraved upon your heart.
And he also said in shiur that it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I did. You're right. Okay.
It's gonna take a long time.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
At least get the idea.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I remember that in shiur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but seriously, why would the Chacham do this? That's
Yeah.
One, and another question is, why? What's the havamina in saying that a person who's guilty, he's righteous, like, or he's innocent? Like, what does that accomplish?
Okay, I think these are all under the same question. Right?
Yeah, I know it's a two-part question, and I'll just whatever. I'll stay silent now.
Yeah. Sean.
Yeah, why is it saying nations and regimes?
That's strange.
The curses and being furious. Like, what's the specific difference between the two?
What is the consequence in Chaf Daled? So in Chaf Daled, why nations and regimes? What is the difference between cursing and anathemizing?
What does that mean, anathema?
Anathema is something that you like really, really hate. And so anathemize is to make something contemptible, hated. Yeah. It's also, it's just strange. I'm going to add this here. Why nations and regimes, as opposed to individuals, right? You would think that the consequences, like the people who are involved in the case, are going to, have feelings about you, or maybe in your nation, but nations and regimes, that's too far reaching, it seems. Yeah.
It also, it seems also like, why are, I guess, also way broader of a scope than an individual judge should be reaching. Like, I don't think, the president knows anything about a specific judge in Africa, or
so the consequences seem too far reaching to be of concern. Ezra?
How will it be pleasant for Rebuke?
Okay, so let's just ask very generally, what is 25 saying? Okay. How will it be pleasant for rebukers?
What is the it?
What is the it? Yeah. What is the it?
With the blessing.
What is the blessing? Okay. How does it come about? What was that?
Who are rebukers?
Yeah. Who are the rebukers here? Right. I mean, is it rebuking the people who are haker panim? Is it the opposite of being haker panim? Like, yeah, it's so, yeah. What is the case? Yeah. Ariel?
Yeah, the last pasuk, he will kiss lips of,
Yeah.
or purse his lips of one who responds with
Yeah.
who is the he, and who is responding with verified words?
Yeah. Yep. Who's the subject? Yeah. What is the subject? Yeah. So basically, we don't know what this is talking about. Yeah, we don't know what's going on here. Yeah. I also, I guess, just want to ask explicitly, even though this is kind of implicit, what is the unified idea from this whole cluster? Right. I'm just gonna have to come down to one idea. Yeah.
And who's the audience?
Yeah.
Talking to the,
I don't know.
Right.
Is it talking to the chacham that are appointing dayanim?
Yeah.
Dayanim, is it talking-
Right. Is it any chachamim? Any chachamim? Those who are appointing dayanim, judges themselves. Yeah. Yeah.
Or what kind of?
What is these going on? I'm actually asking.
These in the first pasuk?
Yeah, does this say go
Yeah,
on?
I think it's going to be just on these right
These
here.
four?
It might be to the end of the parak.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Isaac?
I have a thought.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's start
Let's work.
trying to get some approaches. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's not about actually perverting the judgment. That's
Yeah.
I think it's about validating someone who is wrong, in a way that so I think what it's saying is, let's say, we come in and it's like, let's say I come in with Ezra, it's clear cut that Ezra's right and I'm wrong.
Mhm.
I think it's warning against, I feel like there's like a temptation to, let's say, even to, let's say, the judge pronounces, Ezra right and me wrong, but then to talk to me maybe afterwards in a way that, to like almost like comfort me in a way that makes me feel like really I was right.
Mhm.
And saying that, from that person's perspective, you're saying to Russia, you're a tzaddik,
Mhm.
like you really, you really have, like he'd walk away thinking that he was actually right and wrong about this. And it's warning against doing that. And I think that the second two pesukim are saying, if you're actually just firm about that you're actually wrong in this, and and then there's a way to do that properly, then that actually brings blessing good, and the person will, I think the person who is the Russia Badin will kiss you, not that they're actually going to be happy about it, but that they'll walk away at least like satisfied in a certain way.
Okay, so let me restate what you're saying and then add one thing, which is, so first of all, you're saying that this is talking about really post-din, right?
Yeah.
That after the din, then it's condemning someone who treats the person who was guilty, who tries to like minimize or mitigate or like assuage that person and make them feel like, oh, they really weren't wrong. And so it's saying that that's going to be destructive. And if you do the opposite, if you're firm with them about the fact that they were in the wrong or whatever, then there will be some good that comes from that. Even from the person himself will appreciate that. I think a good example of this, and I should mention this also, how in the same way that we do any pesukim about kings that we've done, really applies by extension to anyone in the leadership position. So pesukim about judges tend to apply to anybody who's in a judgment position, even if they're not an official judge. So I think a good example of this is, let's say like a parent who like there's a fight between two siblings, and the parent like says that, oh, the older sibling is right. So if the parent were to like make the sibling who is wrong feel like, okay, no, we're just telling him this, or it would undercut the entire credibility of the parent and lead to a even though it's coming from a desire to like make him feel good, it's going to undercut the system of justice in that scenario. And so it does have these far-reaching consequences, which is maybe why it describes in terms of the amen. I like that approach. Yeah.
Different approach. So yeah, I was just gonna say, I think just adding on.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about the judge doing that, but I think it's also true if other people do that also.
Right. Meaning other people will weigh in on the judgment that was made and say, oh, you really should have won, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, that's good. Let's get all the approaches on the table. I think for this one, it's going to be better to get different approaches. You said same? Questions on?
There's more
questions.
questions.
More questions, sure. Questions, and then we'll go to your approach, yeah.
Is Chaf Dal in the same case as Chaf Gimel, or is it something else?
Right. Yeah, I think we're treating it as that, and I think let's treat it as that just for the sake of simplicity. Sadi can definitely treat it as that, seemingly, but yeah.
You don't want to ask?
I mean, I'll put the question there, but for our purposes, let's assume that. Is Chaf Dalet is 24 the same case as 23? Yeah, David.
Okay, so a different approach. And this one would be before judgment, but also I would say this would apply not to judge in particular, but anybody who's like in a way like in between like two people that are opposing each other. And I think this is warning then against priming one person for success in situation versus the other, and coming simply from just say like recognizing one over the other, just in a very, very simple way of then getting one to be like feeling good about himself and feeling like, yeah, I'm comfortable in the situation, and getting the other person to not be feeling like that. And then once you set them on those tracks, then you already messed up how things are going to progress further. I was thinking about it so far as with Yosef HaTzadik and how he like made himself a nothing to the Star Mashkim.
Yeah.
And how like Star Mashkim, like that already set into thinking of Yosef as like nobody. So in a similar manner here, once you just recognize someone and just like, oh, hey, what's up? And the other guy is like, who are you? Then that already sets them on these paths to then already be messing things.
Okay, so let me just ask a question here. So b'mishpat. So what is b'mishpat according to the way you're saying it?
So here I'm just having like two things where they're in opposition of each other, and you are trying to get to some like justice or whatever it would be of like you're looking for truth here, and you're now setting these people up for one of them to be stronger in the argument, one of them to be weaker in the argument.
Okay, and the audience is who?
Anybody who's like an arbiter of this, or just at least has the ability to set these two people up in any way.
Okay, so it's to the person who is somehow has an influence on how the people being judged are being presented. And it's warning against priming them to be judged based on things other than the.
Yeah, and I'm specifically saying that that's going to be coming from within those people that are being judged. That just getting one of them to be like feeling good about themselves or feeling more comfortable, or getting one of them to be feeling worse about themselves or feeling less comfortable is going to then mess up things and how they present themselves altogether.
Okay, and so the Omer LaRasha Tzadik Ata is not a, so is there anyone in your version who's actually doing that? Or is that like an exaggeration?
Saying like you are correct, you are incorrect.
Yeah.
Not even specifically.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, I think it's not that I think that the idea is not relevant. I mean, it's definitely within the subject matter. I feel like I would want someone to be saying to the Russia Tzadik Ata, because I think that that's the case, so maybe think about that and see if we can,
Okay, I mean, I also could just think too, you mean you're saying you specifically want to like those words, because I could see it even if it's
not necessarily, someone needs to be actually like making a pronouncing the wrong verdict, so let's say like in the Torah, in the Rambam led one, it was, if this is talking to the person who's setting up Dayanim, he's causing that to happen, or in Isaac's, it's doing it after the din. I'd like to see that show up, because that's the only action that's being highlighted here.
I have a thought about how to could be for.
Okay, yeah, I think in the interest of time, I just wanted to get everything on the table, and then that way we could like think about it for tomorrow. I know we had a lot more time that we needed to go over the facts today. So yeah, let's go Ariel and then Sean. Yeah.
All right, so I think this cluster of pesukim is focused on before and after.
Before and after the
Before-
judgment, or before and after the pesukim?
The judgment.
the judgment, yeah.
Like I think the judgment, gam il but mishpat is when you're making a decision about someone.
Yeah.
Right, where you're I don't know, you're appointing him.
Yeah.
You know, that is like at the time of judgment.
Yeah.
Right. You're judging him to be in a specific situation. Right.
Okay.
And then the second pasuk Dalet is talking about someone where he's not necessarily the right fit for this position, but you're still acknowledging him to be in this role.
Okay.
Where like you're saying he's whatever, he's good for it. And when the nations will curse him, meaning objectively he's not good, and everyone else knows it, and they're going to curse the person who put him in that position.
Wait, are you saying that you're in the position to appoint this judge, and are you saying that you appointing a bad judge is what it means when it says Omer l'Rasha tzadikata?
Omer l'Rasha tzadikata. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that also I feel like I don't like that approach, and the reason why is because the judge is the one who's making the pronouncements of Rasha and Tzaddik, and I find it very hard to say that the act of appointing an unfit judge is calling a Rasha a Tzaddik. Again, if the only route you can get there is because he's going to end up doing this activity, then you are effectively pronouncing Rashaim as Tzaddikim. That I'd be open to.
I'm a little
okay. Let me make sure I understand you. Okay, so you're saying that if I'm in charge of appointing judges, and I appoint someone who's unfit, then I am calling a Rasha a Tzaddik.
No, the person who's in charge is. But you
I
effectively.
am in. Okay, now there's three people.
Who's
I'm in charge of appointing judges.
You're in charge of appointing judges.
So if I appoint an unfit judge, am I saying that a Rasha is a Tzaddik?
No, the judges. But you appointed him.
Okay, fine, all right. So you are taking that route. Okay.
You appointing someone is indicative of the system as a whole.
Okay, fine, right. Okay, yeah. All right, so that I'm open to.
He makes a bit like when he does.
Yeah, it's right. I'm the one who caused it. Right.
Yeah,
so that's like the wrong one. Okay.
Yeah, you're the one who
Yeah.
caused it, and the judge is the one who's in that position to give the authority or to I don't know, further a system that you put him in a role in.
Right.
And that in itself is very problematic because everyone knows he's objectively wrong for it, even your enemies or outside of Israel or whoever knows it or
and it is interesting that it will come back to the person who appointed the judge. Like that's like, let's say, for example, like you look at in our society, when presidents get to appoint Supreme Court justices, like even if people really hate the Supreme Court justice, they all attribute to the president because he's the one who appointed them, Yeah.
And that's what it means that the nation will curse you. And curse you just means it can mean the judge or the appointer.
Yeah.
But it just means the system as a whole because they knew that like what you did was problematic, right? And it's blessing them. That could just mean that it's kind of just verifying their position.
Okay, I want to make one explicit question here, and then we'll go to Sean, and then we'll stop for today, which is that, and I think Isaac's approach addresses this. It's strange opposites, right? The hakir panim and mochichim, right? How is hakaras panim the opposite of tochacha, right? Like that. I think that's a question that needs to be listed here. I'm just going to list it. How is hakaras panim the opposite of tochacha? Okay, yeah. And so Isaac's addressed that. I'm not as clear on the answer to that here, but we can work on it. Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, this is just a half-baked idea. What I want to focus on is the nations will curse and regimes will be furious with it.
Yeah.
And this might be specifically of nations and regimes in the English. So I don't know.
Okay,
if it
yeah,
goes
yeah.
back to the Hebrew.
Yeah.
Nations for me has like the connotation of just the populace.
Yeah.
Versus regimes has like a political, like within the power structure.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
Right. And so when a person is perverse in his judgment by showing favoritism, so the people, like the nation as like a whole, is going to be very upset with that person
Yeah.
because they see the justice system as being very unfair.
Mhm.
So that's pressure from the bottom.
Mhm.
Regimes are
Okay.
going to be furious with him. If somebody shows favoritism, the reason why you're doing that very likely is because you're playing politics.
Right.
And if you're playing politics, it usually indicates power grab.
Mhm.
And so the people who are judges with you are going to be very upset with you, and they're going to be exerting pressure. So now
Okay.
you have pressure from the nation, from the
Yeah.
populace, but also from the people on top. And so you're kind of sandwiched.
Okay,
between
that's
those two
good.
people, and so it's
Yeah.
All
warning
right,
you
that's
against
a good explanation of the
Okay.
consequences. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I also don't know if it works out linguistically, but it seems it rings true to me. So yeah, okay, good. This is very very difficult cluster, so we'll come back to it tomorrow, Leonetta, and see what we get.
What was that last question you asked again?
The question is that the pasuk is clearly setting up hakir panim is the opposite of mochiach, and to me that's not intuitive, right? Because it's saying if you do hakir panim, you're going to get cursed. If you mochiach, if you're mochiach, you're going to get blessed, and it's like you're kissing.
Mochiach is blessed.
No, mochiach. Well, the mochiach means to rebuke, and to him he'll get a blessing. These other guys.
Can you highlight those opposites just because it's hard for me to for some reason
Okay,
visualize it.
mochiach is being blessed, and hakir panim is being cursed and wrathed.
Okay, that okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to answer that, but I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, sure. Okay, thanks. And also kissed. Okay. Stop and stop.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.